All right, so this is how you react to showing interest, which might seem like obvious, like girly, but as someone who came from the trenches or a place where I didn't really get interest, and then I started working out and then improving a bunch of other things about myself, I can relate to you, bro. Like I understand why when you get interest, you still fumble. Like when I don't get interest, basically come out of the mud. I'm not gonna try and approach, etc. It's hard, of course, because you're cold approaching. I feel like I'm getting interest. She's looking at me. We've caught glimpses about a couple of times now. It's still hard. So I can understand both sides, bro. First things first, this is a message to those who are making arguments against themselves. And I want to make this first because you might even realize it, but you're making arguments against yourself. And it's so strange to talk to someone and then realize when you like play it back in your head. And I've seen this happen to so many different people. It happens to like a lot of content creators that are like talking to their audience. So maybe they're trying to tell you like do this thing, and it'll sound corny, like to believe yourself and etc. And then all you see is comments about like, oh no, like this and that, and like this and this factor, like they make it easier than it seems. But all they're basically saying is you should believe in yourself. It's helpful. There's no, it could be corny, whatever you want to say, whatever. Well, it's not corny, but there's no side of this where it's not a positive. I was talking to my bro, and I think we were just talking about like, the idea of like some rich guy flying the girl out that you're interested in, right? And we're talking about that concept, and it just push came to shove. We just kept going from topic to topic, different like situations. And before I knew it, I was basically saying how, so you're a millionaire, he's a billionaire. What then? He's like, oh, this and this happens, they're gonna be like, what if they're more interesting in this way, like this and that, yada yada. She's gonna go, bro. She's gonna choose them, yada. I'm just like, bro. I was like, you're a millionaire, she's a billionaire. Like we're to the point where you're making so many arguments against yourself that you can't believe. You can't believe that this person is genuinely interested in you. That you can't believe that it can be that good. I was also talking about a different thing, and he mentioned that I'm getting like all these different looks from girls and etc. Like I don't know if it's like how can it be that all these people are attracted to me? Like it can't be. So how do I gauge? I'm like, gauge, right? So second thing is always assume that, or at least always assume or practice believing that anyone that's looking at you is to some degree, she's some degree interested. You're like, what? Mm-hmm. Listen. Naturally, it's within us. When you see a bum on the street, bro, when you see a bum on the street, or you see like a bum on the train, or you see some type of crazy person, what's your natural instinct? You usually look away, right? You usually look away. You try not to make eye contact. It's literally innate to you to do whatever you can to not put any energy forth to get any type of interaction with this person. It's like innate to you. So if that's innate, why wouldn't it also be innate for the person that's glancing at you, that's caught you multiple times in a room full of people, that's caught you multiple times in a train full of people, that's staring at you as you're walking past them on the sidewalk, that's the cashier who's focusing on who's supposed to focus on the groceries, etc., is kind of like glancing at you over and over and over and over and over. Like whatever the situation is, why wouldn't it also be safe to assume that they're showing an innate interest? Maybe it's not a big one. They know nothing about you yet, but it's there. If they're putting energy towards you in any way, and I'm saying this like it could go bad, mind you, but you yourself, you do need to practice this because there's like a little lack of self-esteem that a lot of guys are willing to have. It's like a little lack of self-esteem, especially if you're watching this type of video and you thought it was an interesting topic by the look of it and etc. Then you're one of those guys, trust me. There's a bit lack of a self-esteem when you don't assume someone's interested in you. What's the negative? You do something with it or you don't. Oh, they might be interested in me. That's a good confidence for the day, right? Go on with your day. But you should start to practice believing, practice assuming that this person is interested in me. Have that feeling within you. It'll help your confidence. It'll help the way you speak to people. You'll come from this long field of efforts that you normally put into pique someone's interest or to just like you're working like you're from a lower trench than you actually are. Like you're in the trenches maybe, but you're not that deep in the trenches. Thirdly, right? You want to take the stage, as I put it. And what I mean by this is I have a saying that I've been writing on my board. It's basically the world is your stage. So that's why this in my head now, and the board's right behind me. but it's take the stage. So what I mean by that is you gauge your interest. A lot of guys like to have these like little short, like I don't know what you would call it, like not even an interview, like just these short little moments with a girl. Like they'll go to her, hey, look beautiful, can I have your number? Cool. For some girls that might work, and she thinks you're cute and etc. But she might have a very lukewarm interest. Like she'll see that you're well put together, right? If you're watching these videos, you should be getting well put together. She might see that, you know, you have the courage to talk to her, whatever it is. But understand something. She herself might not think that's enough to give you her number, access to talk to her, bother her, in however way you please, unless she blocks you. Like why would she do that? Not everyone's gonna want to do that. So something I like to do is I'd try to like take the stage, try to just like have a little conversation. It's a little moment, just to gauge something, because something that also shows when you have a bit of low self-esteem or low self-thought is, what if she's crazy? Why do you want to give her access to your phone? Just because she's beautiful? Is that all it takes, bro? So what if she's crazy? What if she's let's gauge a bit. You get to start a little engaging conversation. You get to like gauge with some type of like move you make. Maybe you'll let her know like how she looks. Maybe you'll comment on. I think you should try and practice not commenting on girls' looks. You should try and comment more on things that show what they're interested in, like their shoes, for example. Like, oh, I like your shoes, this and that. But only comment on things that you can personally go in depth with to some degree, more than just the compliment itself. Like if you said she's beautiful, she's gonna say thank you, and then it ends there, right? There's no depth to that. But if you say, hey, you know, I like your shirt, and it's like say it's like a pop star on a shirt, it's like Rihanna or something, and this and that, and you comment like how yeah, I like this song by Rihanna or whatever, like, you know, I like this recent thing, etc. If you know something about it, that then and there might be like the thing that just gauges her interest. She might be a mega Rihanna fan. She might really like this person's music she's wearing. She might really like that band. She might really like these shoes. She might be surprised that you knew something about what was going on. I remember once that I complimented a girl on her cat eyes, which is like the makeup thing where you like put that like strip on your eyes. I was like, you did that really well. I just saw from her face that it was just like, like I could just tell she felt it was strange that she was getting that type of compliment from a guy, and I knew what it was called. But little did she know I watched certain things when I was growing up. But anyway, so gauge her interest, right? Either you could still just ask her number straight out, but I would definitely recommend gauging her interest, practicing conversation, practicing noticing push and pull. This way, there's even more to go off of once you get that number. Next, ask for her number anyway. Literally, like whether it seems like she's interested or not, ask for her number anyway. You never know. You have to take the shot. You have to take the shot for you specifically, because you went over there and you went to talk to her to achieve this thing. It should have been for you, I hope, and you're not just doing it for her. Like, you're not just living your life for someone else that seems sort of interested in you from across the room. You're doing it for you, right? To impress yourself, as I always say. So ask for the number anyway. Ask for the number. Whether she says yes or not, do what you will from there. But ask anyway. Always ask anyway, no matter how it seems. And be okay with hearing no, because, like I said, you're here to impress yourself. You did all these things anyway, so you should be impressed. You should be happy with yourself. Or she says yes. Next, and lastly, if it goes well, she says yes, 1.5 weeks max, you should be seeing her again. 1.5 weeks max. Don't waste any time. I don't like the people that guys will get a girl's number and then they'll start to talk to her for like all of a sudden we're phone buddies for like a month, like weeks on end or something. But like, bro, no. Like, you're making all your core moments of learning about someone, you're making them all through the phone, digital. And we're already taught innately through all these dopamine out habits we have that to sort of like trivialize digital moments, like these mechanic moments we have, they're small. Just like when you see something on the internet and it's funny, right? Someone texts you and something's funny, and you might say LOL or laugh like LMAO, but you're not actually laughing. Like, that's how trivialized it is to your brain. Maybe initially that's what it was when you grew up, but now it's not that anymore, because your dopamines have been fried. It's not actually that enjoyable. So when you create these moments with her, it's not actually as enjoyable as it always will be when you create an actual memory with her in person, everything physical, right? If you're listening, everything physical, every physical interaction you can have with a girl is always going to be way, way better than the digital ones. I, for one, don't even like texting that much. I'll text to be connected, to put in effort, but I'm much better in person, as you all should be. I'm much better in person. I can work off energy better. You could look at a text and not be quite sure what the energy even is. She might say something, but she'll add no emojis, so you don't know if she's flirting. You don't know if she's trying to like say something in particular. You don't know where to take it because there's nothing really there besides words on a screen and whatever speech bubble you have, green or blue. There's nothing special about it in particular. But in person, you'll be able to see. In person, you might say something and you'll be able to see a reaction she couldn't hide. And you can work off that, bro. You can now look at it and be like, oh, whoa, she made that little reaction. Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna say this now. I'm gonna say a little here. You know, I'm gonna make this member. I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna hold her hand. And now it's in her head what I just did. That's the video, bro. That's all I can really think to say about it right now. It shouldn't be as hard as people make it and as other girls make it, because sometimes girls themselves don't really know what to do when they're showing interest, clearly because no girls are approaching you most likely. So they also don't know. And then when you approach them, despite them having interest, it might come across as weird or strange or whatever the case is. So, but do what you must. That's the video, bro. As always, impress yourself.